If you clicked on this video, this is your sign to book that trip you've been dreaming, thinking, planning in your head for months. Or if you've been feeling stuck, uninspired, feel like you're in a rut lately, it's your time to step out of your repetitive routine and maybe take a spontaneous trip and see where it leads you. Don't overthink it. Grab a plane or a train ticket or drive to a nearby town you've never explored, or just do something different this weekend. Trust me, it will be worth it. I decided to take my own advice and booked a last-minute trip to Split, Croatia. Was it the best trip ever? No. Did everything go according to plan? Also no. But here's the thing. I got to see the ocean, explore another country, and most importantly, realize how much I appreciate the little things back home that I took for granted. I hope this video encourages you to take a trip, small or big, and I hope you enjoy seeing a glimpse of Croatia. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for stopping by. Hey guys, this is Maya from Japan. This video is about my trip to Split, Croatia. This is me closing all the toilet seats, checking whether all the lights are off and the windows are closed before we head out. Croatia was one of the destinations I always wanted to go in Europe. Living in Prague, which is a landlocked country, I was craving for some beach time this summer. It was a nice getaway where we spent 4 nights and 5 days. I want to keep this review as honest as possible because it's sometimes hard to see videos that capture the pros and cons of some destinations. We headed to the airport, which is about 40 minutes to an hour by Uber from Prague too. We were lucky because there was no traffic on the way. I booked the tickets through SmartWings, and even though we booked last minute, the tickets were around $220 US, which wasn't too bad. This was my son's very last underage trip, meaning that it will be his last trip to sit on my lap and use the assistant seatbelt, and his last free ride. He is almost 2 in this video and has been to over 15 countries. Luckily, since he was 1 month old till now, he's never cried on the plane. He is the worst sleeper since birth, but he's the best traveler. And unlike the super long hauls, like flights back to Japan, it's always so nice to be able to hop on a plane and be at your destination in an hour or 2 when you're traveling within Europe. When we left Prague, it was around 30 Celsius and pretty hot, but wow, the moment I landed in Split, the air felt so hot and the sun was very intense. It's crazy how different the weather is, even though it's so close. Split airport was very clean, and we booked a taxi to get to the hotel. And just like Prague, the airport is not in a remote area, which makes traveling so much easier. We booked the Meridian Hotel and were welcomed with a clean and spacious room. They even set up a crib for us. Although he's never slept in one, it was very thoughtful. The hotel's beachfront was absolutely stunning, offering the perfect view to relax and unwind. The staff also left us welcoming gifts, which made our stay feel even more special. Thank you, Michael. After we chilled a bit, we headed for dinner. There's only one restaurant nearby the hotel, which we ended up going every night. This day, the staff was kind and took us there on a buggy. You can also walk there in 5 or 10 minutes. In Prague, there aren't a lot of places where you can eat seafood, so I was really excited to devour seafood on this trip. This restaurant had a good variety of food. We got the salmon tartare, which was good. I ordered octopus, but the chef accidentally made this fried fish. It was the saltiest fish I've ever had, so I don't recommend you getting this. My mom had a salad with fish on top. This was nice. I also got a risotto for my toddler, which I ended up eating most of. He also enjoyed it, and that was our dinner. Food at the restaurant is okay. I would give an honest 3 stars. It's not insanely good, but it was just alright. Every evening we enjoyed this beautiful sunset and watched the calm waves. At night, I went on a walk with my mom. Taking walks with my family is something I always love to do. We all live so far away from each other, so it's the best way to have quality time and catch up. At night, I had a stomach ache from too much raw veggies, so I went back to the same restaurant where I got a hot cocoa and my mom got a beer. We woke up early and decided to take a walk by the beach. I had a better look at the water for the first time. It was clear and with a light shade of blue. Listening to the gentle rhythm of the waves, I watched the locals laying out their towels in their favorite spots. Some were reading a book, some were enjoying a small breakfast they packed. I love the beach in the mornings. There's this unhurried grace and peaceful stillness. Not a single phone was in sight, except for mine. It didn't feel like I was on a busy resort. It was such a peaceful way to start our day.
スイカを全部食べました。マックみたいにスイカが大好きです。あんまり取ってくる。はい。かわいいね。ももい。はい。
It was a very hot day and was perfect for hanging out at the pool. It was burning hot to stay under the sun for long, but my toddler had a time of his life in the baby pool.
ラブラブ小僧2人。ペロちゃんは2時間も寝て起こしたらギャーってずーっとお泣きしました。ペロちゃんパスタ大好きなので興奮してます。昨日間違えて塩なしで頼みました。昨日めっちゃ塩辛かったから。ニャンニャンニャンニャンニャンニャンニャン。美味しいパスタ。
We came back to the same restaurant for the second time and we ordered different dishes, which were all better than our first visit. I was so happy to finally get my octopus. We were back at the hotel around 7 and it was still so hot outside and decided to chill in the lobby. My son was fascinated by the elevator and made my mom go up and down a million times. This was the best free entertainment ever.
大変だったね、いろいろ。あら。あららららら。なんで？綺麗だね。
We started our day walking along the beach again. The majority of beaches along the Croatian coast are rocky and remaining 1/4 are pebble beaches. It hurts a lot to walk with your bare foot and most people swimming in the ocean were well prepped with water shoes. This day, breakfast was super crowded. The food selection here was impressive, with plenty to choose from, but didn't feel like a 5-star hotel quality. The staff were incredibly friendly, darting around like superheroes, trying to keep everyone happy. This day, we went to the pool again, and we spent hours in the indoor pool, which was very huge and was such a great escape from the blazing sun.
みんなでプールに来ました。
There's also an outdoor pool with a gorgeous view of the beach right in front of it. It's beautiful, but as many reviews have pointed out, it's a bit too small for the number of guests. If you're like us and start the day early and head to the pool before noon, you'll be able to avoid the crowds. In the afternoon, we decided to venture into the city center. The hotel is about 20 to 30 minutes away and around €15 by Uber and extremely expensive by taxi, so always take an Uber. Luckily, we didn't hit any traffic during our stay despite it being peak season. On the way to the center, we stumbled upon a charming market filled with souvenirs, fresh fruit, local food, and clothes. It has such a laid-back, chill vibe, none of the usual tourist traps or scammers you might find in other big European cities. Honestly, I felt really safe walking around. It was such a refreshing experience, blending into the rhythm of the city and soaking in the sights. We strolled around Riva Harbor, a lively pedestrian-friendly sidewalk with a stretch of restaurants along the water. I usually dive deep into Google Maps reviews before picking a restaurant, but I was starving and I wasn't expecting the food, so we decided to sit at one of the restaurants and ordered a salmon steak and a very dry cheeseburger. The cold beer and the ocean-facing seats made our time all worth it. It was such a nice place to sit and relax, enjoying the salty breeze, watching other tourists creating their own memories of Split, which they will one day look back just like I will. As I sat there people watching, I noticed a lot of boats coming in and out of the harbor. When my son is bigger, I hope we can come back and go island hopping to see the pristine waters and beautiful small towns.
Yeah, let's go walk a little.
Most of my Czech friends in Prague all have traveled to Croatia at least once in their life, and it's interesting to know that Croatia continues to be the #1 favorite summer vacation spot for Czech tourists. Split is a major attraction not only for Czechs, but draws in millions of tourists every year from around the world. There's so much history, culture, and beauty packed into this place. Located right on the harbor, Diocletian's palace is one of the most impressive ancient Roman landmarks still standing today.
ペロちゃんの美味しそうだなーって見てるよ。
It's not just a historical site, it's the heart of Split, and you'll find yourself spending a lot of time exploring in this vast, incredible complex. Now, this isn't just a palace, it's a living, breathing piece of history standing strong for over 1,700 years. Built at the turn of the 4th century by Roman Emperor Diocletian, the sprawling complex was designed to be his grand retirement residence. But what makes it fascinating is how it's evolved over time, transforming from an imperial palace to the very soul of this vibrant city. Diocletian wasn't just any emperor. He was one of the few Roman leaders to voluntarily step down from power. When he retired, he left Rome behind to build this fortress. And what a retirement home it was.
Looking for gelato.
The design was a blend of luxury and defense, with ground halls, temples, all protected by towering walls and watchful gates. You'll see locals and tourists wandering through the narrow stone streets of Old Town, admiring the ancient architecture, and of course grabbing a gelato or two, which is exactly what I did. My gelato was the perfect blend of chocolate, cream, and a nutty flavor. Over the centuries, as the Roman Empire fell, the palace became a haven for locals, who repurposed it into a town. Its cellars were turned into storage spaces, and homes and businesses sprouted up within the walls. Today, it's like walking through different layers of history, Roman, medieval, and modern, seamlessly blending into one another. Wandering around here is like stepping into a maze and feels like you're in another world or in another century. It's so surreal and kind of magical. But over 3,000 people live within its walls, and you can feel the energy of the history along with the buzzing of modern life. While we were getting lost in the maze, we found a supermarket in one of the narrow alleys and got some drinks and snacks. This day, we decided to book an Airbnb and stay near the city center. We had a very nice and cozy room, which was walking distance to the palace. My husband was getting super sick, so he wanted to sleep in separate places.
今ペロちゃんはミルクタイムです。ペロちゃんは先週初めて髪の毛を切りました。ココさんに切ってもらいました。そうなんかこういうとこか。ペロちゃん歩きに行こう。から歩いてきます。素敵。Mommy!
In the morning, we went on a stroll to a nearby beach. From early in the morning, there were so many locals enjoying the water. This beach was not a commercialized area, so we can see the daily life of the locals at the beach. The sky was cloudy and the water was gray, but it was nice to soak in the beach for every opportunity we got. We then walked back to our Airbnb and got some coffee from a small little restaurant across the street, and then we took a cab back to the resort and had breakfast.
It's not like a typical visit. You have to 3 p.m. It's in the recreational zone. Everything is clean. Sopla. Sopla.
Truck. He was sleeping. He cried a lot. まだ食べる? Yeah? No? ママやってあげようか？ね、骨格が。ペロちゃんがいた。パパとバイバイしてたら泣かなかったね、ペロちゃんに。目がおかしいこと。あれ？マミにべったりです。眠い。
Whenever my mom is with us, she always bathes my son, and it's their special ritual. He loves bathing with my mom because she never rushes him like I do and lets him play as much as he wants. While my son took a nap, I went for a workout at the gym, which I had all to myself, and I also went for a little walk down by the beach. I wanted to get a few things, so I headed to a small supermarket called Tommy, which was a 5-minute walk down the street. I got some beers which were so good, and later realized they're from Czech. I also got a few snacks.
じゃん、ボートたくさんあるね。
We were pretty exhausted to go out, so we ordered some room service.
この子はイチャイチャボーイです。ピッチャー。なにこの子。なねえ。ねえ、ペイちゃん、今日プラハ帰るよ。大丈夫？いや。ペロちゃんは昨日3時半に泣いたけど、そんなにひどくありませんでした。食べたくないつも食べているコーンフレークちょうだい。あれ今日朝大雨でした。ビジュアルをしてます。ペロちゃんにやって自分に。ペロちゃんいない。ペロちゃんいない。なんか面白いことやってる人がいる。
We then headed to the airport, and it started to rain a little while we were on the taxi. Taxis can't park right in front of the entrance, so we had to walk in the rain towards the doors, which was kind of tricky with a toddler with a lot of luggage and a stroller. But thankfully, we got to our gate and got on the airplane safely. I hope this video inspires you to plan your own adventure, or at the very least reminds you to get out and try something new. Whether it's traveling halfway across the world or just exploring a new spot in your city, you never know what you'll find until you get there. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you in my next video.